Hey, Canucks fans. Former Canucks captain Bo Horvat seemingly turned heel on the city of Vancouver and its fans with his comments, his post-game comments after a big Islanders victory last night. Let's break it down. Let's figure out why so many Canucks fans are mad, and I'll give you my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours as well. So let's talk about what he said first and foremost. The Islanders, not the Canucks, the Islanders had just defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 4-0. They're in the thick of a playoff chase. I'll get to that in a second. And the reporter asked Horvat on the bench this right after the game. How does this rank for you in playoff pushes? The excitement of this building and the fans' involvement over the last couple of games. Horvat answered, it's been unbelievable. It's a lot better than Vancouver. I'll tell you that for free. Admittedly, this is the first time I've heard anyone use that phrase, I'll tell you that for free. And so I presume it means, the literal definition means that he's going to tell us without charging us any money. I think the figurative definition is that it's an emphasis of his point. Now, I'll get into my commentary on this point, but I want to show you what some of you guys had to say first. So I said, what did you think of Horvat's comment about the Vancouver crowd? And as I record this at 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, don't ask me why, I have almost 900 votes on this. And 50% of you saying, I'm surprised he said it. So probably tending towards the negative. Maybe you wish you didn't say that, but I didn't ask that. You said, I'm surprised he said it. 19% said, I don't blame him for saying it. Another 19% said, it was funny. And then 12% said of you saying, I'm mad at him. Now, Twitter only allows 4 options. I couldn't add a 5th option of I don't care or who cares, which a couple of you wrote to me very directly, and that's fine as well. So again, of 900 people, 50% of people saying, I'm surprised he said it. And I'm guessing if you further probe those 50%, they're saying, I'm surprised he said it because it seems a little bit negative. So that's fair. That's fair. So I think if you take away the who cares crowd, there's really 2 ways that you can look at this. And one of them is encapsulated well by my brother Jason. And my brother Jason said this: I'm furious about it. As an ex-captain, go ahead and throw shade at your ex-team, but it's super low to throw shade at your ex-team's fan base. My suspicion is that he wasn't the leader he projected himself to be. A comment like this confirms it. Hashtag glad he's gone. So to my response was, a lot of you, while not feeling as strongly, seem to agree with the sentiment. And then my brother Jason replied to that saying, for people who think this is a fun comment, could you have pictured Linden saying this? Henrik, Naslin, of course not. Do you know why? Because they bleed green and blue or black, red, and yellow. So my brother Jason, who I respect, who I love dearly as a brother, and who's been on my channel quite a few times, his thought is that, yes, that Horvat is throwing the entire fan base under the bus, a fan base that supported him for 8 seasons. He's never, and a couple of other people made this point too, he's never heard another captain, not just of the Canucks, of any team, say that. So he certainly couldn't see a Henrik, Trevor Linden, a Marcus Naslin saying something like this. So I'd say I want to present to you maybe an extreme viewpoint, an extreme kind of side of this argument is, I'm so mad at Horvat. I can't believe this. It feels like he basically poo-pooed all over Vancouver and its fans. So that is kind of the first one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it comes from Aaron says, he's the captain of the Islanders now, not captain of the Canucks. Those are the fans, the Islanders fans that he's pumping up, not Vancouver's. And I saw a lot of people reply this way, that he's obviously playing to the New York Islanders crowd. He's not so much throwing shade at Vancouver's fans, but more importantly, he's trying to win over the Islanders fans. We know that Horvat's production hasn't been great since he's gone over to Long Island. Sure, he plays a bit of a different role. They play a bit of a different system. And yes, they're a team fighting for the playoff spot, however. But yes, we do know that Horvat hasn't been as productive since he's gone over to New York. And we know that he signed an 8-year, $8.5 million a year contract that kicks in at the start of next season. So there's already been murmurs in the Long Island market of, oh man, this guy's overrated. This guy is overpaid. So I can see where he would be looking for opportunities to win the fans over, so to speak. And then this is what this is where I'm going to lead off with my own side of it. So those are the two extremes. The one side that says, man, he just poo-pooed on the Canucks fans who supported him for 8 years. There's the other side that says, don't worry about the Canucks fans. Yeah, this was more for him and his relationship with the Islanders fans in a city and team, unless he gets traded, where he's going to play for the next 8 seasons and make a lot of money doing so. So I said this, I truly don't mind Horvat's comments. His team had just won a must-win game, given that the Penguins and Panthers also won their games, and he's obviously dialed in. It's going to make his first visit here next season a tiny bit more spicy, and that's a good thing. So let's get into this. The Islanders defeated the Flyers 4-0 to keep pace with both Florida, who won, and Pittsburgh, who won. So right now, with 2 games remaining, all 3 teams have 2 games remaining. These 3 teams are fighting for 2 spots, and Florida and the Islanders have 91 points, and Pittsburgh has 90 points. So obviously, this was a massive win. You can see that from the math. So you go to Horvat right after a victory, a massive victory. Crowd's going wild. They're hoping that their team's going to make the playoffs. And here's the key. I think if we go back and we look at what the quote wasn't, what are the Islanders fans like compared to Vancouver's fans? The question was, how does this rank for you in playoff pushes? The excitement of this building and the fans' involvement over the last couple of games. It's been unbelievable. It's a lot better than Vancouver. And then that weird, I'll tell you that for free. It's a lot better than Vancouver. Bo Horvat is my favorite player. You guys knew that. He was my favorite player when he was with the Canucks. Now I have to pick a new favorite player that's on the Canucks at least. But he was my favorite player when he was on the Canucks. So I made sure that I didn't come on here just excusing him because he was my favorite player or being unobjective that way because I just wanted to defend him or whatever it may be. When I look at this quote and when I watch him, he kind of says it with a smirk. But more importantly, when I hear the question, and I believe Horvat to be an intelligent person, I think he heard the reporter ask, how does this rank for you in playoff pushes? And yes, the excitement of the building and the fans' involvement, that's part of the question. But the question was, how does this rank for you in playoff pushes? And then it's been unbelievable. It's a lot better than Vancouver. My gut feeling here is he's not talking about the Islanders fans are better than Vancouver fans. He's talking about this whole notion, this whole environment of competing for a playoff spot in front of fans. And I have to say that in front of fans part, because remember, when Horvat was here, he got drafted in 2013. He didn't start until 2014, that fall. And then so he basically, in 8 years, he had that one playoff run at the end of Willie Desjardins' first season, which was 2014-15. So Horvat was a rookie in that playoff run where they got bounced by the Calgary Flames in the first round. And then he was part of the bubble run. And remember that bubble run, although they got all the way to Game 7 against Vegas, that was played in front of no fans in an empty arena in Edmonton, of all places. So remember, Horvat has not experienced playoff hockey, a push for the playoffs, playoff atmosphere since his rookie season in 2014-15, 8 years ago. So when I hear him say it's a lot better than Vancouver, I truly believe that he was saying this whole race for the playoffs, the euphoria, the crowd involvement, and the environment around the team, the intensity, how every game matters right now with 2 games remaining to go and remaining in the season. I actually think that's what he was compared to 7 of 8 seasons, 6 of 8 in Vancouver, where they didn't make the playoffs, a 7th season where they did make the playoffs in a bubble with no fans, and then finally only one true playoff season out of 8 seasons that was played in front of fans, and that they only got 2 or 3 home games in that series. So that's why I don't get too upset with his comments. That's why I don't think it was unclassy. That's why I don't think it was disrespectful. And I don't buy into this whole thing that this shows that he was a poor leader and that this confirms beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was a rift in the locker room and that, the rumors that Tanner Pearson was the only guy that supported him. There was like a Miller camp and a Bo Horvat camp. But I want to know what you guys think. Am I completely out to lunch? Am I am I excusing Horvat, even though I said I wasn't going to because he used to be my favorite player for the Canucks? So tell me, I want to know if you disagree with me, if you were mad and if you were upset and you think this is disrespectful. I want to know. I do agree with people like my brother who say, Naslin, Linden, Sedin would never say something like this or didn't say something like this, and they never did. And that shows that Horvat is not as good a leader as them. Or are you on the other side, like Aaron, saying, no, he's doing this for the Islanders fans and he's doing this to win them over because he's going to be there. He had 8 years in Vancouver. Now he's going to have 8 years on Long Island. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle where you can see, okay, I can see where some Canucks fans are upset about it, but I also can see where Horvat is saying why he said what he said. And again, just to summarize this, I'm not upset. I don't think it was disrespectful because I truly think he was talking about the whole euphoria environment, about intensity of a playoff push, more so than talking about the quality of fan cheering him on and cheering his team on. But Canucks fans, hockey fans, let me know what you think. You've seen the clip. I'm sure I didn't play it because of copyright, but I read it to you. I showed it to you a couple times, and then I've showed you a couple samples of tweets showing both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the argument. I would love to know what you think. Do you think that Horvat maybe I'll go back to my original question did you think it was funny? Do you think it was surprising? Are you mad at him? Do you agree with him? Or maybe you don't care. Let me know in the comment section. I love to read, react, and reply to the best of my ability. This has been Clay's Canucks Commentary. Subscribe now for a daily Canucks news that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame, and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching. I invite you to subscribe, like the video, become a member, upgrade your membership, leave a donation. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Take care of each other. Happy Easter. God bless. And go Canucks go.